Hey guys, as you might notice, I've got a little bit of a different surroundings this week, and that is because on Monday, 2 days ago, we bought a new house and moved in. So I wanted to do my 6 week update after my breast reduction, but kind of it's been a really weird week. So basically, as I said, we moved into this house on Monday, and I may have overdone it a little bit. As you can imagine, there's a lot of lifting and bending and stretching involved in moving a house. We hired movers, so we had these three big burly guys come and pick up all the heavy stuff, and my husband took responsibility for a lot of it. I didn't do a huge amount of lifting of stuff. I did a little bit, which I ended up hurting myself. I was in a lot of pain on Monday, more than you can imagine. My breasts actually swelled up really big. Obviously, they got a lot of fluid inside. It was just because I just way overdid it. I did spend most of my time, once I kind of realized I had injured myself from lifting, I decided I would just spend my time putting things away and unpacking. And as it turns out, that is not all that helpful either. So again, a lot of bending and stretching and pulling and pushing, and I just basically was in agony on Monday. I went to bed that night, and again, new bed, new house. I didn't have all the pillows to prop myself up, so I ended up sleeping flat on my back, and it was the first time since my surgery that I actually slept in bed with my husband. I'd been sleeping in the guest room all this time. So I basically just a lot of things against me. And so on Tuesday when I woke up, the first thing I noticed was that my right breast, which is the one that has the hole in it, was, for lack of a better word, and I've used this before in one of my previous videos, my boob was farting. And that's a really, really weird way of putting it, but it had been so full of fluid, and with the hole in it, I think it was full of air as well, and so it just made this squelchy noise. And at one point I bent over and it sounded like 1,000 bubbles bubbling up through. It was just such a weird noise. And I had a few gushes of fluid that came out of the hole. The hole itself is closing up quite nicely. It's still there, but it's now about the size of a dime. When I first got it, it was about the size of a 50-cent piece or a silver dollar, or, one of the big coins. So it is getting smaller. I'm not in as much pain overall anymore. I can now do pretty much anything. I'm not having any issues with movement. Occasionally I'll get a twinge on this side where I've had it since my surgery, but for the most part I'm just getting better and better every day. I really, except for the hole, I don't really feel any big issues, and I've been to a concert now. I went to a concert last week. Garth Brooks was playing in Salt Lake, so I went with a friend and we went to his concert, and I spent the whole evening dancing and singing and cheering, and no issues. So that was good. So overall, I'm healing up quite nicely. I even went and got my hair dyed last week. We went purple. It didn't turn out exactly the way it was supposed to, but I still like it. It's a little bit different. So yeah, basically, again, I'm just mumbling and rambling now, but I hope it's helpful for someone. I'm 6 weeks out from my original surgery today. So that's kind of crazy. Sunday it'll be Sunday it'll be 6 weeks from the second surgery. And like I said, I'm healing pretty well. I'm in pretty good spirits, not in a lot of pain unless I overdo it. And except for this hole, I'm not really seeing any big issues. So I'm still just waiting for that to clear up. I still have to wear gauze in my bra to keep it covered. I use bacitracin or whatever it's called over the incisions underneath and down. I have noticed a little bit of twinging in my nipples. They're healed pretty well. There's not much scar or scab or anything. You can see that there's a tiny little scar around them, but I don't think anybody would notice it other than me if I showed it to them, which I don't plan on doing. But yeah, it's a weird new thing that's developed. It's just this weird nipple pain. And I am having, I think the ladies in my recovery groups call them now I can't even think. There's a word for it. These electronic twinges that just shoot through your breast randomly. And I guess it's the nerves reconnecting, which is good. You know, they need to reconnect, but it does hurt a bit. So yeah, other than that, like I said, full range of motion. I can move, I can twist, I can bend. My breasts are really swollen at the moment, more than they have been even since the first day of surgery. And that's just because for the last 3 days I have been doing so much around this house to get it done. But I think if I hadn't been doing all this, they'd be healing really, really well now, and I wouldn't be having any issues. So that's it for this week. I hope it's been helpful. I'm probably going to wind down on these now, unless something major happens. I don't think I'm going to be updating more. Once I'm fully healed, I'll probably come back and do a Q&A, or just a big overview of the whole process. And beware, I'm probably going to show pictures in that one, of the whole process from pre-surgery to the day of surgery. I'll probably show my drains. I'll probably show pictures of the breasts themselves. I hope that will help somebody. They're not pretty. No one's going to be turned on by these, I promise you. But I think it would be good to show exactly what to expect, especially all these holes that I've been talking about. I think, you know, it might be interesting to show you exactly what I mean. They're not, you know, horribly disgusting. I've seen some pretty graphic photos in my own research online, and those are kind of turn your stomach gross. Mine aren't terribly gross, but it's kind of scary to look at them and think, oh my gosh, that's a breast and it's got this giant gaping hole in it, or whatever. There's a few scabby pictures, and there's some before and after pictures, so you can kind of see where I came from and where I am. And then I'm probably going to show some before and after, just kind of finished product. So if you have any questions about this whole thing, again, I had an anchor incision. I had a breast reduction 6 weeks ago. So if you have any questions about the process, insurance, what I went through, what it felt like, the fact that I got infected and what I went through with that, we got our insurance company email or message, or sent me some mail this week, which explained what we're going to end up paying for this whole thing. And obviously they covered the surgery and everything, but there's fees that you still have to pay, and you have to do co-pays and stuff. But obviously I had to go back in the hospital and have emergency surgery, and was in the hospital for 3 days because of infection. So I was really nervous about what this whole thing was going to cost us. And I was really, really pleased, because the entire thing, like, you know, out of pocket would have cost almost, you know, 26 grand with everything that we had done. And it looks like out of pocket, we're only going to have to pay less than $1,000. So big thumbs up to Blue Cross Blue Shield right now, because I was worried. And if what they've sent me is correct, then our out of pocket's way less than I was expecting. So I'm really happy with that. But again, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, leave one below. Subscribe to my channel so you can get updated when I do update about it. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to my regularly scheduled programming, because updating about surgery every week isn't really what I started this channel for. But I have met some really great people. So thanks to everybody who has left comments or messaged me or emailed me. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that I've been helpful to you. If there's anything else you want to see or anything else you want to know, just let me know, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.